Hey guys, welcome back to Sea-ryoso. I'm Nika, and today we're talking about something every crew member knows very well: our cabins. Or as some people lovingly call them, the shoebox. Now, if you've never worked on a cruise ship before, let me paint you a picture. Imagine fitting your bedroom, your closet, your storage space, your office, your emotional support corner, and sometimes even a roommate, all into one tiny room. That's cabin life. And somehow, despite all the challenges, it becomes home. Yeah, so today let's talk about the good, the bad, and the hilarious realities of living in a cruise ship cabin. I still remember the first time I walked into a crew cabin. Let's just say it wasn't exactly what I imagined. When people hear that you work on a cruise ship, they often picture beautiful guest rooms with balconies and ocean views, right? Meanwhile, crew members are trying to figure out where to put a suitcase without blocking the door. At first the space feels tiny, really tiny. And the lights, oh my gosh, the lights are like, I can still remember it, it's yellow. Sabi ko, ala, ang dilim. Parang, how can I put my makeup properly? You start wondering how you're supposed to live there for months. But then something funny happens. You adapt. Humans are surprisingly good at adopting, right? A few weeks later, that same little room somehow becomes your safe place. I'm comfortable. I prayed over it, and the place where you rest after a long day, that's the place where you call home. And before you know it, you memorize exactly where everything is, even in the dark. Now let's talk about the struggles. Because there are plenty, okay? First of all, privacy becomes luxury, especially if you have a roommate. You're sharing a small space with another human being who probably has a completely different schedule than yours. Sometimes you're sleeping while they're getting ready for work, or sometimes they're sleeping while you're getting ready for your work. And sometimes you're both trying to be considerate and accidentally become professional ninjas. Opening drawers quietly. Oh, I'm so expert in that. Closing doors slowly. Yes, at first it's my struggle. trying not to wake each other up. And let's not forget storage. Yeah, and since maliit yung space, you quickly become an expert in organization. Kailangan mong pagkasyahin lahat ng gamit mo. So every inch matters talaga. If something doesn't have a place, it becomes a problem. Yes, and then there's the random noises, the sheep moving, the doors closing, the neighbors talking, people walking down the hallway. At first, it feels strange, but eventually, the silence on land becomes a stranger. And if you've worked on board, you know exactly what I mean. Now for the fun part. Because cabin life is honestly hilarious sometimes. There are moments when you realize you've developed skills that make absolutely no sense on land. Like getting dressed in a space the size of a closet, or reaching three different items without taking a single step, or mastering the art of climbing into a bunk bed without hitting your head. Again and again and again. There's also the moment when friends visit your cabin and suddenly four people are standing in a room designed for two. Nobody can move. Everybody's laughing. And somehow you're all having the best conversation. Some of my favorite memories on board happened in cabins, of course. Not because they were glamorous, but because they were real. Late night conversations, celebrating birthday, sharing snacks, noodles, talking about dreams, talking about home. Those tiny rooms end up holding some pretty big parties. I'm kidding. Pretty big memories. And as funny and frustrating cabin life can be, it taught me a lot. It taught me gratitude because when you live with less, you appreciate more. It taught me patience, especially when sharing space with others. And it taught me flexibility because things won't always be perfect. And most importantly, it taught me that home isn't really about the size of a room. It's about the peace you feel inside it. Some of the smallest living spaces have held some of my biggest life lessons. And I think that's pretty beautiful. So that's cabin life. The good, the bad, and definitely the hilarious ones. And if you're currently listening from your crew cabin right now, I hope this episode made you smile. And if you've never worked on a ship before, I hope you got a little glimpse into what life is really like behind the scenes. Thank you so much for spending these few minutes with me. Next episode, we're diving into a topic that every crew member has probably witnessed at least once: ship romance. Yes, we're talking about dating on board. The movie moments, the messy moments, and the everything in between. Until then, this is Nika, and this is Seryoso. Stay grateful, stay kind, and I'll see you on episode 6.